Hello everyone, welcome back to the Budget Sportsman. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I am so excited for today's adventure. You can probably see behind me, I've got the budget boat loaded up. It is about 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm sorry, almost 6 o'clock in the morning. And I am so excited for today's adventure. It is December the 10th, and we have just a few days left of our Pennsylvania rifle season. And today I'm doing something that I have wanted to do for a very long time, and that is go hunt some boat access areas. And I've scoured the map for quite a while, and I found some places. I got to drive about an hour, but I found some places around this lake that I think are going to be really good, potentially very low pressure areas getting in there by boat. I have a doe tag for this area. I don't have a buck tag, but my brother-in-law is joining me today. Be here in a few minutes, and he's got both a buck and a doe tag. Again, it's rifle season, so never been in this area. We're just going to kind of go in and scout it out. If we find something that looks good, we might sit it, or we might just kind of still hunt our way around. But either way, I think it's going to be an awesome day, fun day out on the water and in the woods. So hope you'll join us for the adventure of today.
Well, we made it to the lake. We're loaded down with all our gear. Time to go find some deer. Well, here we are. Something I've wanted to do for a long time is hunt from the boat. Finally doing it. I made it about a 3.5 mile run down here. Beautiful morning. Lake's fairly calm. Did see some other hunters, a group that looked like they were spotting across the lake maybe with big spotting scopes. I couldn't quite tell what they were doing, and then got down here to the first place I was going to pull in, and there's another boat, which I'm just going to assume they're hunting, but we came down another cove or two. Kind of like what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of thick stuff, and there's some different fields or food plots or something. The other side of the lake is really steep but more open, so we're gonna go for a walk and hopefully find some deer. Well, there's definitely deer here. We just stumbled upon this one. Looks like it may have been shot, maybe through the guts, and someone just didn't recover it. But anyways, there's deer here. Well guys, right now we're just making our way out along this ridge. The lake's down behind me there, and along this ridge there's all these, what I guess you would call them CRP fields, or food plots of some sort. Some of them look like they're just overgrown CRP. This one I'm standing in now actually looks like there's a clover base in it, and there's a lot of fresh poop in here. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised at the amount of sign I'm finding so far. I haven't seen a deer tail, but like I said, this is as much of a scouting mission as anything. But like I said, pleasantly surprised, seeing some scrapes and rubs. I think there's a good chance we bump into some deer. There's definitely some thick, nasty stuff down in here. Deer trail right here, deer poop. I like what we got so far. Well guys, haven't given you an update in a few minutes, or more than a few minutes, a little while. We finished walking off that bottom down there by those food plots and saw a lot of sign, but didn't end up seeing any deer. And now we're got up on top of the ridge here, big oak forest up here. We're just walking the ridge out, trying to see down either side. Brother-in-law's over that way, probably spreading out 50, 60, 70 yards and just seeing over either side. I don't know if you can see the lakes down behind us. No deer so far, but having fun all the same. Did they go this way? Well, I just gave you that update about not seeing any deer, and I walked over to where Matt was just to kind of communicate about what we were going to do next. And right as I got to him, 2 deer took off. Thought maybe I could move out along this hillside and see where they went, but they're probably the next county over by now. But hey, at least we saw some deer. It's 11:30. We just made it back from our hiking, scouting, hunting mission. Saw a good bit more sign than I anticipated. Matt saw 2 deer. I missed the first one, but saw the second one. So didn't totally get skunked. We're gonna regroup a little bit, get some water, get some food, and maybe try a new spot. Got the old cheap Amazon or eBay or something pocket stove there. Gonna cook up some chicken broccoli rice. There's our chicken and rice with a view.
It's got like something other than rice too.
Broccoli.
Like spaghetti.
Oh, noodles, chicken noodles and rice.
Good.
With a view. Back in the boat again. On to the next adventure. Well, we're at our second place now. Got some food, some rest, and gonna go for another walk here. We're gonna loop up around, up the direction I'm pointed here, and then all around that way, and then over this way, behind where the camera is now. There's like a peninsula that looks like it's about, on the map, somewhere around 75 to 100 acres. I don't know if deer would want to be out there, but I think it's a good place where you can kind of pinch them down. So we're going to make a loop here and work our way up around and then out onto that peninsula. Well guys, I looked up around and I'm kind of up at the top side of this peninsula. I'm getting ready to work down through the peninsula. And right here behind me, you can see this big little grove of saplings. Big little grove, but that didn't make any sense. This grove of saplings. There's a pretty fresh looking rub right there. Pretty fresh looking rub over there. An older rub right here. There's a bunch of rubs right here. And it kind of makes sense because it's this point. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there's a point out this way. But then there's also like a point right here. And I can definitely see how a buck might like to just bed up here. You can see down probably over everything. If he was up here, he probably saw me coming from a mile away. It's just wide open timber up in there. But I can definitely see how a buck might like to be up in here. Wow, that is really calm for 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, we finished up our hike out that peninsula. It seemed like there wasn't much food source or anything really for deer to want to be out there. Up at the top end of it, I think I did show you, I found a lot of buck rubs, a scrape, but also found scentwick up there, so somebody else has been hunting up there for sure. Now we made another couple mile run back up. We're close to the boat ramp now, and we're gonna go in here. There's another little peninsula with a clearing, food plot, CRP field, not sure what it is. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna try to find a place to set up for a few hours and just sit. We've hiked a lot of miles today. Just gonna try to find a place to just sit and watch and hopefully take advantage of some of that evening deer movement. Now, my boat doesn't have the lights on to be legal to run after dark, so we're still gonna have to leave and get back to the boat ramp before it gets dark. But hopefully get up here and maybe get some of that late afternoon, early evening deer movement over the CRP field. Well, that CRP field was a lot more overgrown than what we anticipated. There wasn't really a good place to just sit and watch that field. So we were gonna sit, but now we're back to moving again. We're gonna make a big loop here and try to see if we can figure out where the deer might be on this particular piece of land here. There's definitely some sign here. There's some real thick cover. So we're gonna see if we can find some hot sign or figure out where the deer are, maybe bump into something. Well guys, look what I just came across. Somebody has a fort up here. I don't know if you can see, but the lake's in the background. This lake has a lot of recreational boating in the summertime, so probably somebody was out here boating and just came on up here and built themselves a little fort. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty tuckered out. I've done something like 17,000 steps and 8 miles today. Pretty tired, but it's been a good day. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do boat access hunting, and it's been really fun today, bouncing around different spots in the boat. Couldn't have asked for better weather. So it's been an awesome day. Probably won't get back down here this season, but I definitely think I'd consider coming back next season, maybe a little earlier in the season, or maybe even in rifle season. I have some spots now in mind where we could actually come set up and sit rather than just walking around all day, but it's definitely been good intel. Well, we just finished up our hike. got down here by the lake. It's a beautiful evening. Couldn't have asked for better weather today. The lake is like glass. It's interesting. I came to this lake a lot when I was a kid. It gets a lot of recreational traffic in the summertime and boats everywhere. So to see it like this, just calm, no boats hardly at all. Just seen a handful today. But anyways, that's not why I wanted to talk to you right now. Came down and we were just getting back close to the boat, and I saw some deer hair and stuff, and kind of was wondering what happened. And then right here by the lake we found 2 gut piles, which is really interesting because the place that we just were walking around really didn't seem like there was that much sign, but somebody came in here not too long ago and had some success. So kind of makes you question what all might be up in this area.